Welcome to this Litchfield Camera Club introduction to print mounting. We've put together this brief guide to help you mount your pictures correctly for club competitions. There's a lot of expensive specialist equipment around, but you can actually manage with very little. So that the mount is cut neatly and with 45-degree slanting edges, we're going to use a bevel mat cutting kit. Today this would cost about £60. If you don't mind your mounts having 90-degree cuts, then a really sharp knife and a straight edge are all you need. Even the rusty old steel rule seen here could be cleaned up and used. Probably the most important thing is something to protect your work surfaces. Cutter blades are razor sharp and could seriously damage you or your kitchen worktops. You will also need some mount board, some backing board and tapes for securing them together. In this demonstration we'll use this image of Lichfield Cathedral, which is portrait format. The same principles apply to landscape images, where width is greater than height, letterbox, where one dimension is much greater than the other, or square images. Select a mount board to suit your image from the many colours and types available to buy. You can choose anything you like, provided the maximum size you end up with is 40 cm by 50 cm. But a word of warning, many judges dislike colourful or even black mounts, so you may prefer something white, plain and reasonably priced. The judge can't object as long as the mount is clean and neat. Coloured mount board with coloured core is expensive, so you may want to keep that for pictures to go on the wall at home. By printing on A3 paper, we can leave 2 cm of white edge all around to make fixing easy. To maximise the print size of A4 paper, you could leave just ½ centimetre of white edge. Now to work out the size of the hole we need to cut in the mount board. Measure the 2 lengths of the print, then subtract those measurements from the equivalent lengths of the mount board. The remainder is the amount of edge to allow on the 4 sides. This calculation is obvious for some people, but others can get really confused. So here's how it's done step by step. We're using the maximum size mount board allowed in competitions, and it's in portrait format, so the width is 400 mm. The width of print we want to show is 240 mm. 400 minus 240 is 160. We want each side of the mount to be equal, so divide this by 2 to give a width of 80 mm. Now the same calculation on the long edge, in this case the height. The mount board height of 500 mm minus the picture height of 334 mm leaves us with 166. We'll make the top and the bottom of the mount equal, so 166 divided by 2 gives 83 mm. When measuring in from the edge of the board, you may want to add a millimetre to these values to be absolutely certain no slivers of white paper show at the edges. Make sure the mount board is face down and mark out the size required on the back of the board, measuring in from the mount board edge. Take care that you're measuring from the correct edges. It's a good idea to cross-check the marked out size on the back of the board before you start to cut. We are using a bevel cutter instead of a knife, so when we lay it on the board we must line up the mark in the middle of the cutter edge with the line on the back of the board. This ensures cutting starts where the lines cross. Also, we will make sure we cut in a clockwise direction, as demonstrated in this sequence. This ensures the 45-degree cut always slopes the right way. Before cutting, make sure your knife or cutter blades are sharp. Blunt blades don't cut cleanly, and you have to push hard, making it difficult to be precise. Position the straight edge along one line And each time you cut, remember to start just on, or maybe a fraction before, the start line. Once the cutter is in position, press down on the blade holder to pierce the mount board and push forward with a steady pressure. Remember to stop just on, or maybe a fraction past, the next line. The centre of the mount should come away easily. If it doesn't, don't pull it. Try to save the mount using a really sharp blade on any uncut fragments. Ragged edges, perhaps due to blunt blades, can sometimes be saved using fine sandpaper or a nail file. Place the mount carefully over your print and arrange it over the edge of the work surface, making sure the print remains aligned with the hole in the mount. Working from below, use small pieces of tape to secure the two top corners to the board. Check the print is still aligned, then turn it over and add some more tape along the top edge. This will act like a hinge on the rear of the cut mount board, allowing the print freedom to adjust to temperature and humidity changes. Now cut a piece of card large enough to cover the back of the print. It's best if this is white or neutral. We highly recommend using professional picture tape to stick the backing board to the mount board. It has just the right amount of stickiness and remains in place without making the mount board edges curve back too much. Use a thumbnail to push the tape down at the edge. This reduces the likelihood of the tape causing the mount board to deform over time. Write or label the back with your name and the print title, and your print is ready for the competition. That's this portrait format print complete, and we've applied exactly the same process to this landscape format mount as well. However, for this landscape format print, we've opted for a white border between the mount and the print itself. Provided your print has enough white paper around it, you just need to allow for this border at the measuring stage. For example, the height of this print, including white edge top and bottom, is 223 millimeters. That leaves us 177 millimeters for the mount board at top and bottom. And we think that a deeper base would be more effective for this image, so top and bottom are not equal. Mount board is available in different colours and with coloured cores, as in this example. We've printed a sympathetically coloured line around the edge of the print to act as a link between mount and print. This black mount board has a white core, which can be quite effective for some images. Finally, one special point. If you're planning to sell your print or frame it for display, be sure to use what is known as archival quality materials at all stages, including printing. We hope you found this useful. That's it. Thanks for watching.